I'm up here now. Now you remember where it's at? I'm here. We here for a couple of hours. All right. Yeah, I'll text you the address. All right. Yeah. We live now, by the way.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Oh, let me see this. Let me see the address. Send that to him. And
is the music playing or no?
No, I'm gonna do it now.
From the Sunshine State, the great state of Florida, and what does your Uncle Charlotte always say? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. I'm Big Bubba cross my black car. It's booby traps and pit bulls cross my backyard. I'm still strapped, boy, these handguns on Vanguard. I like going against the grain cause my head hard. Babe, I used to thug hard to see this crack hard. I don't thug nothing but the motherfucking task force. Me and two root running shit, we like the fat boys. Paid cash for it, so I try this and fast forward. I put it all in your face like you asked for. Most of you love frontin' like the dashboard. I get it chalked out like the blackboard. I got the ghetto off glass like the backboard. Most of my ride till it ain't no gas for. We been outside like ain't no map for. Been outside like ain't no map for.
I swear to God, these motherfucking jits in Florida is different. Man, I was at this house the other night. Gave her little like son one melatonin, thinking this little motherfucker gonna go to sleep. Hell nah, the little motherfucker ain't go to sleep. I ended up giving this little the whole goddamn bottle. He ate them all. It was up all motherfucking night.
I'm in all white ones. Picture could get me a Cy Young. We feel like nuns. No giving like Spice One. We feel like bums. Don't change that I might run. Feel like buns. Shit sit when the price jump. I got white bumps. These bags kill it price plump. You only die once. I know you a snake with a sliced tongue. I can't trust you. I'ma dust you. Ain't no checking temperature. It's you, then it's you. These laws I'm stuck to. You know how many 12-12s I run through? My get cut, but my girlfriends get cut loose. My get hit like kung fu. I love the streets, but they never told me I love you.
Yeah, I already know. I'm straight from Florida, G. You know, bottom of the motherfucking map. Home of motherfucking Uncle Luke. Home of Trick Daddy. Home of Kodak Black. Nothing but gold teeth, wigs, and motherfucking sticks. You already know. Bottom of the map. FLA. Shaped like a motherfucking Hezbollah. Have me, want it. I ain't got no damn business at church. Cause all I be doing is looking at damn prints in that bitch. I'm talking about, man. You know how up it is? Like, you ever got hard in church before? Like, ain't that some shit? You get hard in church and you in there like, you know you wrong.
Welcome back. You're back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. All right. We have a good show for you guys today, as always. All righty here. Where we at here? So we're going to be talking about, some NFL stuff with the Cleveland Browns. They make a trade here that may make room for Shedeur. We'll talk about that. We got some college football lined up, some NBA. All right, as the NBA season is now upon us. You got the last guy caught in the Louisiana prison escape. All right. And then there's a big Verzuz going down soon here. So we'll get into all of that good stuff here. Let me just text our point guard back really quick here. All right. Just walk on in. And as we on air. As we are on air, but it's all good.
You got the uniforms here in the studio?
It's in the car.
Okay.
So I have to trust him to go in my car and not steal it.
That's right. or not steal any other valuable contents in Bubba's whip.
Yeah. Don't take the honey packs with you.
How many do you keep in the car at one time?
You never know when you're gonna get lucky, man.
You never know.
Listen, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's one thing on my mind here that I just want to address really quick here, okay? And that is this. Really quick, Ping.
Okay.
I've talked to you about this off air, but never on air.
Okay.
I have a beef with folks that are in all of these different industries. Whether you are a podcaster, whether you're a singer, or artist, rapper or whatever, you do porn on Twitter, or anything
Place to do it.
that is in those type of industries that DM your videos and always be like, share, subscribe for me. Do it for me. Like you're my friend. You have to do this. And it's two problems I have with this. The people that do it all the time. Okay. And I have quite a few people that do this all the time. Number one, where is your common fucking courtesy? Okay. I'm a guy, I grew up with savages and fucking people who eat raccoon and possums. And at least I know that if you're going to be asking me to do that, the least you can do is at least like and comment on our stuff.
For sure. If you're in the same industry, the same lane.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and you're doing this like at least 5, 6, 7 times a week. This is almost every day. This is a second job for me, going on and clicking onto your videos. Okay, and you don't do it for us. That's like, where is your fucking common courtesy?
Yes.
Number two, it's really not helping you that much. I know what you're thinking. You get as many people as you're on your friend list, and then you get in the algorithm because you have all of these comments and likes from people or whatever. The fake comments and likes. People are going to put the fire emojis on your thing and blah blah blah. But just really think about it. It's not helping you that much. Okay. Now you want people to want to go and consume your product. You don't want to force people upon it. Now, I do understand when you got something, you got your best song you've ever done. Okay, your best podcast take you've ever had. That's cool. You got a great joke that you just premiered. Okay, this is the best time you've ever rolled a diggling on your Twitter page. Okay, you just had this. I understand. It's okay. Send it. We're gonna like.
I hope that's a female.
We're gonna like. We're gonna comment, and we're gonna do what we need to do. But 5 to 6 times a week, that's too much, man. You want people to organically consume your product. I never send our podcast clips to people that like, share, subscribe, do it because you're my friend or my cousin or whatever. If whenever I do it's because I'm talking about that person inside of that particular clip. And then there are a couple of people like Black and whatever. He'll send me stuff, but he likes and comments on our stuff too. So whatever. And whatever. It may be petty, but I'm just tired of the shit. Okay. So hopefully you guys hear this and you guys understand. All right.
Yeah, it's a good time to mention though that the YouTube channel has just exceeded 1 million views.
There you go.
So I'm proud of that.
Organic views.
Organic views.
Yeah, man.
No dingling riding views. I just have in my head like some guy that's a friend of yours that you have no idea he might be gay sends you a video. This is my best ever dingling ride.
They know better than that.
Like,
whoa. They know better than that.
What are you doing?
They know better than that, man. Let's move on to more pressing items here. Okay. You got Bill Belichick, man. Okay, you got UNC. They're struggling over at North Carolina. We talked about it the first time when he first got over there and things like that, how surprising of a move that was. And things are just not working out. Per sources, Bill Belichick has discussed buyout options with North Carolina's hierarchy. Belichick has signaled a willingness to trigger his own $1 million buyout if he can find a soft landing with another team or in media. Now, the same person who is breaking this story is the same exact person who broke the story 2 weeks before Bill actually got the UNC job.
So they seem to be well informed.
This is a person who seems to be well informed. Now, there's a lot more to this story. Okay, there is this same person got an anonymous coach that's on the staff that says that things have been really weird lately, and even over the bye week, they haven't heard from Bill at all. Like any of the coaches, they haven't heard from Bill. So
they're not practicing during the bye week, or they're practicing. Bill's not there.
I guess not, because they just haven't heard from him. Okay,
I mean, you might get an extra day or two off on the bye week, but most teams
a whole week. Yeah.
That's why.
And then also here, of course, they've been beat really bad a couple of times. You got the season opener 48-14 by TCU, which had Michael Jordan in the crowd.
And Lawrence Taylor.
And
Teardrop Roy.
Yeah, man.
And they just look miserable by halftime.
They got blown out by Clemson, who has been struggling this year.
And then he called that timeout with 1 second left.
Yeah.
Like in a blowout game.
And then you have some, you got some potential lawsuits. You got recruiting violations. That's going to be like, it's just the picture, the worst environment, and the worst situation is happening.
Yeah, and it's all falling apart for him because I was listening to something today that like they actually had a good amount of NIL money going into this coming season that we're in the middle of now, but like there was like a Group 5 coach who was like, yeah, we're getting beat out by North Carolina for kids. It's like, what the hell's North Carolina like recruiting the same guys we are? Like, they should be looking for better guys. And then the takeaway on that was that, and it's kind of the thing that I have with old people and people that like, kind of like Dion, that have a lot going on, is when you get into the college game, you're not willing to do the grind. And what they're saying, like with the higher end players, whether it be portal or high school guys, yeah, you can show them the money, but a lot of the other big schools can show the money too. And you still got to do the relationship building, if you want to call it butt kissing and all that stuff. And Belichick's just not suited or wired to do that. And I think that the speculation from the guy that was saying this was like, that's part of the reason they were not in on the highest level guys.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing where like, for all the little funny stories about Belichick, like there's a narrative that like, even when he was at the Patriots, like, he didn't treat people particularly well. And that's kind of maybe coming back to roost on him.
Yeah, because when you think about it, he doesn't treat people well. How do you think he's going to treat them when things are going terribly with the team?
Exactly.
And you got a lot of their coaches are already like looking for other jobs. Like other schools have been contacted by them. They're trying to get. So it's like,
got to get off the sinking ship.
But for the players that are there, man, what a shit show for guys who may be seniors, who may have transferred in or came there just because of Bill and that staff. You got Bill hiring his son, who was supposed to take over after him.
Yeah, he screwed that up for him too.
I mean, just this is.
And you still got that stupid girlfriend rolling around.
Still got the girlfriend rolling around and being a part of things.
Yeah.
This is tough. Now, when you do a job like this, and you're telling them, hey, I'll even chip in to pay for my own buyout. If I get to land with another team, what other team are you going to land with?
Yeah, that was the funny thing when you're reading that. I'm like, what team is going to want any part of this? Like maybe a media job. But
the media job would be there.
Media job you could find something. But yeah, there's no way based on his performance here that any other college program they would have to be just dumb to hire him.
Yeah, unless it's in like a very small capacity, like advisor or something. But
yeah. But it makes no sense. And then I think, he already was kind of a non-commodity in the NFL coaching market. There was probably, there was at one point some narrative that, hey, he's going to show the NFL, he's going to go to college, flip North Carolina around, get them winning, and kind of like, screw you guys, you missed an opportunity to sign me. And it's like, no, dude, you've been one of the best coaches in the history of the game, but right now you're a toxic dumpster.
Toxic dumpster, man. And their numbers are awful. I mean, they're like ranked at 120, 130 something in like various different categories, defense and offensively.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
It's just absolutely nothing going on.
And like you said, now if the other coaches are looking for their next spot, the players that have opportunities are looking to get in the portal or kind of probably flirting with some people about options. Although when the team's this bad, it's kind of hard to shine individually
And evaluate,
that
talent.
you're not doing yourself any favors being attached to this team.
Yeah.
So it's as bad as it gets, really.
It really is. It really is. Now, what I don't buy is that it does something to his legacy. I just don't think so. I think this is whatever. This is Jordan with the Wizards. And you go down the line. I mean, I don't think in the grand scheme of things, people are really going to give it.
Yeah. Jerry Rice with the Seahawks.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Obscure guys. In obscure
No,
places.
seriously, man. Yeah.
No, the legacy is what it is. I do think. I mean, there's a little bit of juice to the when Brady went to Tampa and won, and the Patriots under Belichick just kind of went into a steady slide until he left. Like that did a little something to his legacy.
Yeah.
But it's such an enormous legacy that it's not like it's, just like completely diminishing it.
No.
It's just a little chink to it.
Yeah. It's just a little chink. And even I had to, I have to admit that because I wasn't a whole fan of that ideology, just because the situations are totally different. I mean, because Brady went to a stacked team, but at the same time, you can't change the facts of what happened.
Yeah,
and that did happen, and so that is a chink on the thing, and people also reference that when speaking on that situation. You know what I mean? But so yeah, outside of that, I mean, I think he's good. I mean, because what really is Bill Belichick's legacy anyway? I mean, what are we talking about? Is he up for the best coach of all time? What conversation is he in?
He's in that discussion.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, with 6 Super Bowls
Yeah.
and just that run of consistent high level performance of New England. Again, he didn't quite get much done in Cleveland. There was some evidence of a little turn at one point there, but it didn't work out. And those were basically his 2 head jobs at the NFL level. But I mean, prior to that, his time with the Giants and the Jets as defensive coordinator,
Yeah,
he won under Parcells. He was, really a valued part of that. Like, he got a lot of recognition as defensive wizard, etc. So he's in the discussion with the best guys of all time.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this disaster at North Carolina takes him out of that discussion.
Why does he even want to be in the media at this point after this? Like right after this, you want to leave mid-season and go to the media? Like
yeah, it's an odd move, but I think there's here's where I tie in the girl. There's something about this part of his life that still wants something. It's not like he could have left the Patriots, kind of just quietly went off into the shadows, maybe kind of low-key advised some teams on some things. Kind of like, how Jerry West kind of floated around basketball. He could have gone that route. He could have been the guy that just goes and fishes and whatever. But what does he do? He immediately started looking for other NFL jobs. He gets this 4-year-old girlfriend, and that becomes like a public thing that people know about. And then he takes this UNC job. It's like there's something that keeps drawing him to things that keep him, relevant or at least in the discussion of things.
Yeah.
And that's to me some sort of psychological need that hasn't been able to get a hold of.
No, 100%. Well, we'll see how that situation goes. I mean, I don't see how he makes it through the rest of the season.
Yeah, probably not. And, again, if he's already talking about it, he wants out of there. So I think at the end of the day, it won't necessarily require a soft landing anywhere. It's just going to go on its own.
Yeah.
Just
gonna be a large stud.
let's part ways and get the heck out of here. Yeah.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. All right. Let's move it along here because another big story that happened football wise and NFL was the Cleveland Browns made a quarterback trade. Okay, they traded Joe Flacco over to the Bengals. Okay, the Bengals have already said, "Hey, Joe is starting this week."
Right.
That's he hadn't even. I don't even think he practiced. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, you're better than this guy, Brownie." And And then so that leaves a spot open for Shedeur. At least you would think. All right. But apparently you got the head coach, Kevin Stefanski, saying he was non-committal today on whether rookie Shedeur or practice squad quarterback Bailey Zappi would be the team's backup quarterback. Now listen here. If for whatever reason, and damn, I forgot to tap the thing for audio listeners. But I'll just upload the audio from here. If for whatever reason they go to practice squad Bailey fucking Zappi and they name him as the backup quarterback, it is instead of last week we said at the end of the season the time is now. Yeah. The time would be like at that very moment. Shedeur has to like, hey, I'm next on the trading block.
Get me the hell out of here.
Get me the hell out of here.
Wave me if you must.
Take the guaranteed money away. Do what you have to do because there's something you got against this guy. You know what I mean? If you I never was the biggest Shedeur guy to begin with. I didn't think. Yeah. I remember when guys were talking about, is it him or Cam going to be number one quarterback in the draft? I was like, what have you guys been watching? I don't know. And I don't like how he handled the draft process. And now, and now Dion was kind of chipping in on, hey, whatever. I didn't like any of that. But this is criminal. If they come out and name Bailey Zappi the backup quarterback, that is fucking criminal.
Yeah, you're literally saying Shedeur Sanders cannot play.
Yeah.
Like that, just in football terms, he's been in camp since minicamp, since rookie camp. He's been working all along the way. He had the preseason stuff.
It had a solid preseason
and seemed to play well. And now we're in the regular season, and you don't trust him enough to be the backup. Like, ideally, he still ain't going to play, but at least he's the backup to a guy that signed to the practice squad, this week? I mean, that's outrageous. I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever that, you're basically saying, I don't think this dude can play at all.
Facts.
And if that's the case, why not waive him?
Yeah.
For the love of God, just waive the damn guy.
Big facts.
That's crazy. We've got a visitor today.
Our star point guard. My jersey it's the black Mazda, okay? Right next to the honey packs, you can find the jerseys. All right. Listen, yeah. So outside of that, were you thinking what the world was thinking? Like, okay, they're moving Joe when it initially happened. This has to be positive for Shedeur. Like, he's going to get his shot somewhere down the line.
Just simple, deductive reason. You take a guy out of the mix, you move a guy up. It is what it is. They don't envision going, and it makes sense. Okay, we've already gone with the one rookie. We really don't envision a scenario where it makes sense to bring Joe back as a starter, even by injury, because what the heck, he ain't going to be here next year. It basically cleared the deck to have Shedeur available for to get some play before the season ends, and to basically shut that down, to do it this way, it may not be a football. I mean, maybe his behavior is just total shit. I don't know. I personally didn't like the mime interview.
Yeah.
I thought that was just juvenile, pointless. I don't think it was a good move.
Yeah, and then all accounts, he was challenging or responding to Rex Ryan, from whatever, he's on ESPN Get Up, but it's like you're responding to one guy on a fucking morning show.
Yeah, who's not coaching you.
Who's not coaching you or not coaching at all, hasn't been able to get a coaching job for the past umpteen years. Like, who gives a shit?
But and the other thing, you got like, how is this playing out? He's in the locker room, coaching staff, maybe they're in their offices, GM, whatever, and then they're getting word, like it's trickling up. Yeah, Shedeur's doing a weird mime interview down in the locker room right now. He's not talking. Again, you're not playing him.
Yeah.
And guys that aren't valuable or not getting played, it's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, do we need this? Yeah. It's just crazy. I don't get it. But I mean, when's the last time from a Cleveland perspective, coaching staff, GM, whatever, that there's been anything remotely positive said about Shedeur. Even simply that he's working hard or showing progress. Is any of that? I mean, I can't remember that. You know, it just feels like it's just a completely absent thing. But
Appreciate you.
you're good.
All right, man. Get that.
Banning us, bro.
I have not. There's been.
We got the same record now. We got the same attendance now.
Get that dub, man.
But yeah, that's I can't remember anything being positive being said at all.
No, not from in house. No,
Yeah.
not from in house at
sure.
all. And the coach, I don't know if it's weird or whatnot. And but that goes back to my original theory of there was a split house to begin with.
Yeah.
I think that Stefanski wanted, I think he wanted Dylan Gabriel and was going to go the rest of the draft with other draft picks. And I think the call came in from either up top or whatnot. Hey, get Shedeur. This is a great spot to get him at and what have you. And that was never his plan.
Right.
But
and he's behaved like a pouting child about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if that's the case, you would think that someone from up top can put more pressure to put Shedeur on the field if it's coming from ownership.
Yeah.
So so that's the one chink in my, whatever, in my thought process.
Yeah. Although, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That chain of command could be a little wonky for whatever reason.
It is Cleveland.
It is Cleveland. Which is funny because, Johnny Manziel was on a podcast talking about how weird things were in Cleveland when he was there. Now, he's admitted he was a problem.
Yeah.
But he was talking about a trade. He was on a podcast with A.J. McCarron.
Okay.
And McCarron was a bench guy in Cincinnati. And he was traded to Cleveland. But Cleveland didn't send the fax to the league office on time. And the trade was negated. And it was just like, and they were talking together because they're contemporaries. It's like, he's like Johnny's like, trust me, that wasn't like the 1,000th weirdest thing that happened in Cleveland's front office at that time.
But still weird and irresponsible, and shows why they've had 1,000 starting quarterbacks since whatever year.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's for sure.
I mean, some people just don't deserve to have control of a team.
Yeah.
You know,
man.
It just is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then it spun to this. It's like, goes back to Myles Garrett. Like, what is he doing there? You know,
the money.
But but again,
he's
get
the bad guy.
Screw you.
Because he had in the offseason, he's like, hey, trade me, man. I need to play for a winning organization. But
exactly.
He had the right idea.
And then he was bought off.
At that time, he became the highest paid defensive player to ever, you know what I mean, to ever play.
Every hoe's got a price.
Just a couple of comments here. Kobe says the humiliation ritual. I would tell my son we out of the Browns.
I want to just go because I was thinking about this when you were talking at the beginning of the story. What a just a disaster for the Sanders family. You know, you go back 12 months ago.
Oh yeah.
They're all three of them are together in Colorado. They've got Travis. They're doing a decent job. And then, the season ends. Shiloh can't make a roster. I mean, he got cut, and it's like doesn't seem like anybody's interested in doing anything with him, even as a practice squad guy. Shedeur's going through this weird trial, and Deion's going under the knife again because of some blood clot issues, and he had cancer in the summer. I mean, mention on the field has been a shit show too. Right, but it's been a rough ride for all
very
of them.
rough. It's been very rough.
When
It's
you
been
look
very
at
rough.
it collectively.
Now, no, I was just saying like this. One of our commenters also told me here that that could be like a facade. Because things are going so bad on the field,
he's gonna fake a surgery.
You leak kind of, and that's his way out.
If that's the route that he goes, Jeff, what's his name, man? I can't even think of his name. He's the writer. He wrote the Cowboy book back in the day with the Aikman or whatever. Follow him on Twitter. He always says Deion Sanders is a charlatan. He's just a selfish dude who knows how to talk, and at the end of the day, he doesn't deliver anything. And it's like that would be consistent with being a charlatan. The on-field stuff's going bad. I'm gonna potentially feign or maybe embellish a health crisis.
That may be a better word, embellish
to
it.
kind of get this. Yeah, I mean, if he actually goes under the knife, though,
Yeah, it's hard to.
It's hard to say that, man. It's hard to say that.
It's not our take. It's not my take. It's not your take. I'm just reporting the news here.
Yeah, for real though.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, you're very committed to the whatever the facade. If that's what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Shout out to True. Shout out to Champ in here. And hey, how you doing, Ebony? All right, so appreciate you guys here hanging out with us.
But there's a very realistic scenario, and I don't want to be the arbiter of bad news, but if we push this out another 12 months, it's becoming an increasingly likelihood scenario that both boys are out of professional football, and Dion is out of college, if not dead, in 12 months.
Like that's not out of the realm of possibility the way things are going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, like you just wouldn't have imagined that. Like whatever, 12 months ago, we were on TikTok, or I was on TikTok, arguing about our takes about Dion, because you had like thousands of people saying, "Oh, you got to give him a chance at Colorado." What are you saying? Because I was saying, okay, you have the number one player in the nation leaving. You got Shedeur, who y'all believe is a top quarterback prospect, leaving. Okay, how is he going to succeed the next year? You tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, he can recruit, and he's this and he's that, and don't you worry, and this and that. All of those guys have disappeared, of course, but they were calling us all kind of crazy names, and we don't know what we're talking about. They just give anybody microphones these days, and all of that. And I'm like, well, you just tell me how. I did not see a possible avenue to Colorado being successful this year, and I just don't think Dion did enough of the legwork, no pun intended, and
didn't quite put his foot in,
and you could just see it. You could just see it. I knew he did. I told you guys he wasn't going to have a quarterback. And the defense was struggling before, you know what I mean? Warren Sapp's not going to change anything like that.
No.
You could just see it, man.
There just hasn't, and there just has not been consistent higher tier recruiting. There's been cherry pick guy here or there that have some buzz to them, but like winning rosters, playoff caliber rosters are built on like years of recruiting and elite portal work to get that. And Dion's never mustered it.
And I'm only going to stay here a minute and 5 seconds, however long it takes me to say it. But again, what the fuck is he doing at Colorado that he couldn't have done at Jackson State? You guys have not yet convinced me on that. And that's it. All right. Moving it along here. All right. Once again, you're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. We're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I have a take.
On what?
Arizona Cardinals head coach here. Okay, there was a situation that happened. Were you aware of this situation?
Yeah.
Where a player.
I haven't been living under a rock.
A player was going into the end zone, one of their reserve running backs. And he wanted to do one of these silly celebrations that we have seen where he gets relaxed and drops the ball heading into the end zone. Okay. And this has happened before. You got the guy, from the Colts, I believe it was, and all of that stuff there. Okay. And so in this game here, I was watching this game because.
Good grief. Why?
I had money on the game.
Okay.
I had money on the game. I had money on the Cardinals. And they were supposed to win this game. They had to win this game. This game was theirs. It was theirs. And I'm watching this, and it wasn't only just this guy, the Emari DeMarcado guy, who was the running back who dropped the ball into the end zone. But it was like epic level mistake after epic level mistake after another. The defense or Kyler, somebody. And I want you to think about this, right? Because everybody is saying, Jonathan Gannon is the coach's name. You're not supposed to hit a player. You got the former players on ESPN. It's like, hey, he crossed the line. You know, that's a terrible line to cross. You can curse a player out, you can do this or that, but you can't put your hands on them because, of course, players can't put your hands on coaches. And generally, I agree with that. But listen to me. This guy is not Andy Reid. He's not Sean Payton. He's not fucking, Bill Belichick for what it's worth. Like, this guy's Jonathan Gannon, okay? Like, you're playing with this guy's livelihood. He has a family to feed. He has things he has to do. He's a young coach. Like, his life is on the line, and you're fucking, and you got to think about him. He's on this sideline watching all of you guys. He's coaching a great game. Play calling, the subs he's making, everything he's doing 1,000% right. He's coaching a perfect game. The only people the reason why they're losing this game is because of the epic blunders, the fucking just, what are you doing, okay, of the players. And he's watching this happen. Thing after thing after thing. And then this guy is heading into the end zone after the offensive line blocked mercifully, gratefully, and he drops this ball as a fucking whatever celebration thing. Okay, a guy who's maybe not even in the league in 2 weeks. Okay, and you got to think about this head coach on the sideline. He just has to be he's lost it. Okay, he should have went upside his head. I wouldn't be. Like, it wouldn't bother me at all if he shows up to this guy's house masked up and does real harm to this kid, okay?
And here's my take. He probably would be better off if he showed enough restraint to attack him after the game.
You know what I mean?
But what he did, it is over a line.
Yeah.
It's there's not a lot of precedent for it.
No.
But it's over the line.
I guess you're a basketball guy.
Which guy?
Did he ever? Yeah, he did that, right?
Bobby Knight.
Yeah.
That was his undoing, though. That was what finally,
yeah.
got him done it in the end. He threw chairs.
But that was like over
out.
Time.
Right?
Not the first time.
Well, but I'm saying like that has always been the line.
Yeah.
Before, at India, that ended his Indiana career where he was like legendary. If you go to football in the 70s, an Ohio State coach named Woody Hayes, he punched an opposing player that went into the sidelines of Ohio State, and that was the end of him. I mean, there's a pretty consistent history that if, as a coach, you're putting hands on players, that's kind of it for you. And
I agree with you, right? But what I'm saying is, in certain cases, it should be allowed. And cause all he really did was kind of like likely, but like the running back didn't even move. Like
right.
He likely, what I'm saying is he should have went upside his head. That's what I'm saying. But all he did was a light push to the chest or whatever. And like I said, the running back didn't even move. Okay, barely. And whatever. We know he's a fully in shape NFL running back, and this is a small whatever coach. And but again, I'm saying in certain cases it should be allowed. You're for real though, but you're messing with this guy's livelihood. Like, this guy, what's going to happen is we're going to turn around in the season. We're going to turn around at the end of the season. This guy's going to be whatever, fucking 3-14 or whatever, all because of shitty players doing shitty things. And time after time, and I'm watching the Cardinals every week, and it's something so dumb every week. But what they're going to say is, well, your record is whatever, 3-14. You're a bad football coach, and he just hasn't been up to this day. But he's a young coach. He has made mistakes and will make more. But I'm just saying, from an overall standpoint, you know what I mean. I just think it's cut him some slack. I'm glad he got fined or whatever. He probably should have. I'm glad nothing else happened.
But it is one of those things. Like, how are the players responding to him this week?
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be interesting.
Are they writing this guy off?
You talking about this upcoming week, right?
Well, yeah, today, tomorrow, yesterday in practice. And you do that. I mean, like, the reality is it crosses a line that's sort of accepted in, professional sports and sports in general. And it's like, everybody on that roster knows what happened. Everybody on that roster got an opinion of you now. Yeah. And maybe that opinion's changed by that action. I don't always know, because sometimes the greatest turnarounds come from the lowest points. And there could be something galvanizing about that. Maybe he stands in front of those 53 guys and puts his heart out there. and they get where he's coming from, and they realize, you didn't punch this guy in the head.
Yeah.
I get it. I'd be frustrated too. I kind of wanted to hit the guy myself. Like maybe that's what happens, and they move forward in a better way. But I would say chances are it's not probably going to go down that way. But it is what it. I think he crossed the line. I definitely think something had to be done. I will be surprised if he's able to turn the situation around.
Yeah.
But it would take something strong in that locker room for him to come out and say and do to those guys to, basically, reboot that. Because at the end of the day, like I know, like teams may not have talent and the coaching, you could be doing everything you can coaching, smoke and mirrors, trying to make things happen. But when a team like consistently makes mistakes, catastrophic mistakes, like at some point coaching becomes accountable for that. It comes accountable because you accept what you tolerate is one thing. And again, you could have people that have talent that look the part, but if they show you over and over again that they can't play games without major breakdowns, they ain't the guys you need, and you got to be able to get rid of them.
Yeah. Now in NFL, it's
and
a
I'm
lot.
even talking near the top with like Harrison and all that.
Yeah. Now in the NFL, it's just a lot different because the coaches, especially like younger coaches, like I think all coaches, because even Andy Reid, like you just don't have a lot of power or say so in the roster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like neither one of us believes in Kyler, but when you're a new coach coming in, your job is to make it work with Kyler. And if you can't, you just won't be here anymore.
I remember seeing like when he first got hired and first went there, he had this kind of like goofy interaction with Kyler Murray. He's trying to like, hey, like kind of buddy him and friend him up. And like Kyler Murray's kind of just
he's a different guy. He's almost like Russell a little bit in certain aspects.
Like Russell's out there talking the talk of all the good stuff. Kyler Murray, he's kind of like a dead fish.
Yeah. I
just think he's a very quiet, introverted guy. It seems he doesn't react to that because the guy was like trying to buddy him up, and Kyler's just kind of like, hey, coach. Like you don't get any like emotion from him, and it's tough, Like you could be that quiet leader guy, but your level of performance has to be close to flawless for people to follow that when you're not giving them any juice.
Any guy we have to put in the contract, you can't play video games this much. That's nothing I can do with you. Yeah. There's just nothing I can do with you, man. You're a fucking NFL starting quarterback.
You would like to think
get off of Call of Duty.
Yeah, you would like to think that like they wrote up that contract, they got that clause in there, and they're kind of at the table and they're getting ready for him to sign, and you kind of hope like the owner or the GM just has like this moment of clarity and is like, what the hell are we doing? Snatch the contract, rip it up. It's like, good luck in free agency, buddy. Like, this is not. I'm not having a guy sign a contract where he has to study certain film and can't play video. Like, if this is where we're at,
it's
you're not on my roster.
You're just not my guy.
Yeah,
it's just not my guy, man. But yeah, that's just the take I had on that. We can move it along here. Just thought that was interesting. Not going to spend a ton of time on the Cardinals. So, we're not going to do that.
Although apparently you watch every snap of the Cardinals.
That will be that's the last dollar I put on those jokers. You can't beat the Titans. The Titans were praying to lose that game. They were bad too.
Like 1 week earlier, their starting quarterbacks telling everybody they're ass.
We ass.
And then they beat you.
Shout out to Cam, man. We ass. All right. Let's stay in the realm of football here. We're just going to move slightly over to a different sport, and that's college. All right.
College football.
Yeah, college football, man. But from our standpoint, we're in Florida. So let's do some Florida State, Miami, and the Gators. Of course, we had the big game. We previewed last week. The game happened. Florida State and Miami. Okay. Give me something.
Didn't make it to the end of the game.
No.
Shut it down, went to bed.
At what point?
Third quarter.
Because Miami kind of like took their foot off all the way, and Florida State kind of,
I wasn't there for that.
Wasn't there for that?
No, I was out in the third quarter. piss poor showing. Just piss poor showing. You know, you got excited after Alabama. You handled the 2 bad opponents as well as you could handle 2 bad opponents. And then when you lost the Virginia game, you lost everything. And I said it at the time. I'm not backing off of it. Season is pointless at this point. There's nothing to play for whatsoever. You had to beat Virginia. And now you play Miami. You know, you do a few things, but you turn the ball over 3 times. You give up big plays in the pass game. You let them get way out ahead and you can't chase them down. Just piss poor. And that was the season. Now you're 2 conference losses in. You're not getting to the ACC title game. You're not getting in the playoff. You're just out there running around getting cardio for the next 7 weeks.
I didn't like the kid who went into the end zone and did the sleepy thing. It's over. Like, that was silly.
Well, I didn't even say that. But.
Yeah, you probably were going to bed by that time. I didn't like that. But I you know, I did think Florida State, I guess because I had put up a post because I like fucking with the, the Floridian Florida State fans, not real Florida State fans like alumni and stuff. And, because I had said that.
Did you include like something in your post that says who it's directed?
No.
I haven't noticed that.
But I did say that, I said that Florida State had laid down because that is what it appeared. Like you said, early third, you're like, oh, this is over. Like, these guys are not even like trying anymore.
You're not competing.
And not competing anymore. And I said that. And, but then, Miami takes their foot off the gas and almost like, real late, it's like, oh, can this become a game? Yeah. But like you said, they were just out too far ahead. And but at that point, Florida State were trying to clean up some things, but the turnovers, man. But is Miami defense that good?
Here's are you familiar with Josh Pate?
No.
He's a pretty big like college football commentator guy. I see him on TikTok a lot.
Okay. So I know I've seen that.
His take coming out of the weekend was like, I watched Texas, Ohio State play. I've watched, most of the big teams play, and he goes, I have not seen anybody look like Miami. He goes, Miami's got like aliens on their team. They look bigger and stronger and faster than any other team. That's his take. I know he watches a ton of college football.
Yeah.
He did throw in the Kevin. I'm not telling you they're going to win the national title. I'm not telling you they're going to definitely win the ACC. But, like, I've seen most of the bigger teams play in college football, like, that are supposed to be the guys. And this Miami team looks the part. They look like the best one from that perspective, It is freakish that your 2 defensive ends are your leading tacklers.
Yeah.
That's just not something that happens.
No.
That's crazy. Defensively they were very strong. Offensively they capitalized. They made the big plays when they needed to. But if we kind of wind this all the way back, they needed a late drive to beat Notre Dame. They got it, to their credit. Florida, after a really rough first half, made a push and were kind of in that game and then shit down their leg. We made mistakes early and put ourselves behind the 8 ball but made a late run. If you're looking at Miami, they've won all the games and they have a lot of talented people on the team. But they haven't put forth like that just crushingly consistent 4-quarter game. There's always been lapses where the other decent teams that they've played have been able to make the game close or be competitive. They haven't been one of those teams that just slaughters a solid team beginning to end.
There's something to that. I think there's something to that. It's a good point. I think there's something to that, and that could be a part of the coaching philosophy there and whatever. He's just a little too lazy. I don't want to say lazy, but he just lets his foot off the gas. What's the word I'm looking for? There is a word. He's
complacent.
Yeah, complacent is a good word. Complacent is a good word to use there.
Yeah.
And you go and prevent defense. You go, run and punt and whatever. And that's just what the games look like in the 4th quarter for Miami. How sustainable is the heavily recruit the defensive line and receivers and this and that, and then we go out and find the journeyman quarterback, because that seems to be that seems to be their model right now.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you get the right guy. I mean, that's, and so far, I'm not a big Carson Beck guy. I don't think he's great.
Yeah.
But he's been enough.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that out there every year? Like, I guess so, with the transfer portal and the thing way it is now.
Yeah,
I guess it's out there.
It just kind of goes to again, what do you? They've kind of nailed it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And that, again, what are they doing different? What's going on? They're obviously paying a lot of money. I mean, we got outbid for Cam Ward last year.
Yeah.
We've heard some numbers attached to Carson Beck's name,
which is even more than Cam.
That are pretty spectacular. So, they're pouring the money into that position, and so far twice they've got the right guy.
Because this is Beck's last year.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I thought he
so
played
they're
at
going
least
to
3
be
years at Georgia.
They're going to be right back at it next year, looking for the next guy, and they're going
I think Bain will be in the draft, the one defensive end. I think.
Yeah. But just speaking from a quarterback perspective, because everybody else they I ain't gonna say everybody else, but pretty much they grow in house with recruiting and things that.
Bain and Corley, the receiver, who's making some good plays. Although I think the second receiver, Seven, who
made the big plays.
He's a transfer guy, I believe.
Yeah, and he has that name that's sounds familiar, but he's not related to Tony, the Tony kid. Is that who?
He's the young one. He's the guy they drafted.
Yeah, recruited. Yeah, freshman.
No, it's the other one. He's number 7.
Okay.
Corley's like 10.
Okay.
Yeah, he almost looks like a little bit of a Tyreek Hill. Like he's a shorter guy, very quick.
Because I thought he would have been related to Kadarius Toney, but he's not.
He's
not. Yeah.
But then you've got the other guy, and his name escapes me, but he's been really good. He had the big one-handed catch in I think the Notre Dame game.
That was sick.
And he had another touchdown against us. So I think he's a recruiting guy. I just don't. I mean, I think that the reality is and one of the big FSU takeaways was we've lost the high school recruiting battles to Miami. Apparently, we were in on Bain at one point. We're in on one of the other defensive players that did really well for. We're in on a couple guys and lose to Miami and that. And then they're saying, well, that's the difference in the game. I mean, yeah, those guys are good. You're not going to win all the battles, but it's just building a roster year to year. That's where we are. You've got to hit on whatever it is that you're doing. You just have to get the right players.
Is there any chance you get to the end of the season and whatever, you guys got 2 losses now, say you've lost 4 games, modest 3 to 4 games. Is there any way you get to the end of the season you say, well, it was a lot better than the last season? No. Because of the way you got started.
Because you had, I mean, again, you can't. I mean, you want to compete and contend every year. You want to do that, but every team in modern college football is going to be a 1-year cycle. There's always we're always going to have significant change because of the portal.
You're on a year-to-year.
And so this is the year. This is this team's year, and you've shit the bed, and you had so many things. You were disciplined against Alabama. You were physical. You made the 4th and inches stops multiple times. You did everything a good team should do. And then since Virginia, you've been a mistake-prone, turnover-prone team that can't make the plays that win games, that don't win the physical battle. That's what you are.
Yeah.
And again, why the single season concept? You win 3 straight games. Miami's been very good, but when you look at the schedule, if you're a contending team, Virginia's not a game. It's not a game. Clemson's having serious issues. Florida's having serious. By week 3, this thing's set up really nice for you to make a run.
Yeah.
And you've now thrown that away in 2 games.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck what you do the rest of the way.
Yeah. Because if you beat Virginia and even if you lose to Miami,
you have a chance to get back.
You still have a chance to get back. Because the Alabama win would look so much better because they appear to be a good team.
But you got to realize, and I know you've bashed the ACC. The reality of the ACC is this: there's never going to be more than 2 teams in the playoff. So by definition, you have to get in the championship game. And if you don't lose to Virginia, you have the same outcome last week that you did. You win out. There's likely just a rematch with Miami for the ACC title. And even if you lose it good, you might still back into the playoff.
Yeah, because they expanded the
But
thing
if
to
you
the-
win it, you're in. And
100%.
that's just the thing. And so the Virginia loss was just the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And it's just college football is not forgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, again, now with the 12-team playoff, teams with 2 losses or this or that can still potentially get in, but so much is now out of your hands.
Yeah. So much has to happen now.
Yeah.
It's not in your control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's the thing.
Well, I'm going to be really quick on my Gators here. They get a win over Texas, and what I had. A couple of takeaways is, number one, I knew that Dallas Wilson would make a difference. I just didn't know he would make that much of a difference. He was the number 1 receiver coming out or whatever, and he was originally with Oregon. We stole him away only because his grandma or something lives in Tampa. And so he wanted to be close to his ailing grandma or whatever. And
Ailing grandma in the shadow of Mons Venus.
Thank God for his ailing grandma and how many ever millions we gave him. And
Who said cancer doesn't win?
oh my gosh. But yeah, he made a massive difference, and all of a sudden DJ, whatever contacts they gave him, he's looking good. But similar to what Florida State lost to Virginia is similar how I feel about the Gators. You lose to USF, it's fucking over anyway. And I just don't care from the aspect of Billy. The Gators itself, the team, I know you can't, I can't detach them, whatever. But from the Billy Napier standpoint, I don't give a damn. I don't care if he runs the table. I have absolutely no fucks given what happens. He has to leave. But from the Gator standpoint, if they do run the table, I mean, I can salvage that this season. But they will have to do that, and that's what, a 2% chance of happening. But I can feel okay about that. And with all of the big dogs we have left, I do think there's still a chance you can sneak into the playoffs if you run the table. You know what I mean? Even with the bad loss to USF, which the world is a little higher on USF than we were coming into the game anyhow. So
3's tough though. 3's tough.
Yeah, 3's tough. But if you beat Texas, who was ranked top 10. You beat Texas A&M, who was ranked number 3 right now, or something like that. They were top 5.
Are they okay?
They're top 5. You
The other thing that happened when
Georgia,
Florida State shits the bed like this, I literally don't care about college football. I don't. I couldn't tell you who's ranked where. It doesn't matter to me at all. I just literally don't care.
And see, so that's the thing about me. I don't care from a Billy standpoint.
I care almost to the extent that I care about the WNBA.
So you're not watching the finals tonight? Well, you have the podcast. So I guess that's
not
excuse.
That's not the only reason I'm watching the finals.
That's what we'll tell our fans.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess that's it from my standpoint. Billy, you have to go. I just don't give a damn. The Gators, if you run the table,
you don't have to
get my
go
attention.
home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
You just have to. That's a must.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. We can move it along from there. All right. I will be watching that Texas A&M game. That'd be interesting. Now, if we win that,
well, I'm actually going to the
pull me back
FSU Pitt game.
You are?
Yeah.
But that's because you had already planned that.
Got the tickets, meeting Brian, my college roommate up there.
No, sorry?
Sorry for the late scratch.
Oh,
sorry. I'm going to say this. Okay, so there's a guy. He's part of one of the FSU booster clubs, and this guy's fraudulent as hell. Sarv had bought 3 tickets to the Miami game from this guy, and also was supposed to get a game worn jersey as part of this package that he bought.
Oh, damn.
Dude didn't come through for the tickets. Had these weird messages where he was talking about being sick and this, that, and the other thing.
Had he already paid?
Yeah. He's out the money right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No, this guy, I wish I knew his name or remembered it offhand. This guy is a disgrace to Florida State football. He passes himself off as like alumni and part of some little group or
And
fan club.
he is officially like he is a.
No, I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I think he has one of these kind of like fan booster groups that they raise money, they do whatever, but part of the they sell these packages and tickets and all that. And this guy's a fraud. And Sarv's not the only person he's defrauded. There's a number of people. He has these weird excuses, throws out like personal health issues. And it's that the guy's a total fraud. He's a disgrace to the program.
Yeah, that's sick.
Disgrace to himself. And I wish nothing but bad things for him.
Yeah. So do I.
Sorry, was mentally worn out after that.
I don't blame
Because
him.
he ended up getting a ticket and going in. He had pay on top of and paid a worse rate, and then the team performs like they did. And
Oh man, that's a
got-
triple whammy.
oh, it's horrible. He was in town. Him and his brother were in town. They gave a speech at the College of Engineering where they both graduated from on Friday, and the guy, let's stay, watch the game, blah blah blah, and yeah, he's just so crestfallen. He's not going to make it for this weekend.
Kobe says, "Can I start bitching about Malzahn again and how he ruined UCF, or do we credit UM for being better than we thought? Top 10 for sure. Shout out Carson."
I was arguing with Carlton over this. I'm not saying I've loved everything Malzahn's done, but of the problems we have, he doesn't rate too high. I mean, honestly, Virginia was turnovers. We moved the ball. They couldn't stop us but for turnovers.
Yeah.
Of the way that game played out. We still put up 35 regulation points, 38 total. It wasn't like we couldn't move the football.
Right.
And then even Miami, again, it was a little ugly. That's a super talented defense. But at the end of the game, it's hard to believe. We outrushed Miami, we outpassed Miami, we out first down Miami. We won the offensive categories except for turnovers. And I know it wasn't pretty in the first half, but I don't think he's the main problem.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't like Malzahn, and I wasn't excited to hire him. I have a bias against older coaches and people in general, and I was like, why are we hiring him or whatever? But he doesn't, and I also watched a little bit of a breakdown. Castellanos made some bad reads, not just on the interceptions. He missed some plays where there was some yards.
No, that was his worst game so far.
Yeah,
but again, it's the best defense she plays, so you kind of give him a pass, I guess.
Yeah.
The turnovers you don't get a pass for, but just the missed
But
throws.
missing some opportunities and stuff like that. That all matters,
Yeah.
It was.
How many more years of him do you have?
Who?
Castellanos.
I think one.
Yeah.
I think there's some scenario where he could appeal for something and maybe have another year. Norvell kind of downplayed it a couple weeks ago, not just when things have gone south.
Yeah.
But back when things were good, he still kind of downplayed it. So it may be a long shot. I don't know what the specific nature of the appeal is, though.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll check on that. Let's move it along here. I want to get to some. Let's get to some NBA stuff as the NBA season is now upon us here. I want to go. I have a NBA top 10 player list going into the season, but I want to start here. I want to start here with Giannis. So, there was a big report that came out yesterday that the New York Knicks made a strong push for Giannis. Okay, and so Giannis responded today, and he says, now, if in 6 or 7 months I change my mind, I think there's a human side too. You're allowed to make any decisions you want, but I'm locked in. I'm locked into this team. Doesn't sound like you're locked in, but I guess you could be locked in, but still understand if it goes south, I'm out of here. That's basically what he said.
You're hedging your bets.
Yeah. That's basically what he said. Hey, I'm here, but if shit goes south,
you have a weird obligation, especially when you're face of the franchise star, to say that you're locked in or express some sort of in some manner that you're in. You just have that. If you don't say it, it really makes things a little weird.
Yeah.
And the story becomes a bigger story if you don't kind of make some sort of statement to this effect. But clearly he's hedging his bet. And the other interesting thing was that I guess the wife and kids are moving to Greece.
Yeah. I remember you said that. Yeah. I remember
I
you telling
think
me
that's really interesting
that.
too.
Yeah,
and,
go ahead.
And that, again, when you think about that, there's a lot of potential reasons. There's probably a significant reason of what's going on in this country and how comfortable he is raising kids. And I think this decision coincides with the kids starting school as well. And so I think that's a big part of this. But he's always been the family-driven guy, whether it's his brothers, his mom, or wife and his kids. The taking them out of Milwaukee, putting them in Greece, to me, that also points towards him having a lot greater flexibility in making a franchise change at the trade deadline.
Damn.
Because you're not tethered to that city. Your two oldest kids aren't established in that school. They're in Greece. They're enjoying that life. And if you're gonna move from Milwaukee to Detroit or LA or wherever, like, it's a lot easier move when it's just you packing a couple suitcases.
Now, that's a great point. I didn't think about it from that angle. I also haven't heard anyone come from that angle yet, so that's a great point.
I'm a pioneer.
There you go. Number two, they said that the Knicks did not make a strong enough offer for Giannis. Like they
did make an offer?
Yes. Now, yeah, because Giannis, that was his preferred destination if he was going to move, and he let Milwaukee know that. So Milwaukee listened to New York in their offer. And my thing, if I'm the Knicks, I'm willing to give up whatever you ask, really, for Giannis.
Yeah.
Because it's only two things there. It's only the Knicks saying, well, we kind of believe in this team and this and that and whatever, and I think we have a nice core and we got the guys bought in, the Villanova crew and XYZ. Or you say, hey, this is a franchise-changing player. We do what we got to do together.
Which, again, I call bullshit on the first part of your thing because they let DiVincenzo go.
Yeah, anyway.
The year before for Towns.
Yeah.
So if you're New York, you're putting Towns on the bus.
Yeah.
And whatever they need.
Bridges.
Probably short of Brunson.
Picks. Whatever.
Yeah.
And if it's, and I'm going to be honest, even if it's Brunson, but Brunson light, like Brunson and picks or whatever. I'm not going to give up Brunson Towns and that. I'm just saying, if it's Brunson light or anybody else you want outside of Brunson, those two things, I'm okay. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't screw me over with OG, Bridges, and a bunch of picks. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I think Towns would have to go.
Yeah. No. If I
really think he's got to be.
He has to be in that deal.
Piece of that deal.
He has to be in that deal.
And that's why I kind of say it wouldn't be Brunson, because you're not going to do Towns and Brunson.
Absolutely not.
So I think it's got to be Towns.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I could see Giannis and Towns playing together, but that wouldn't be ideal.
Nah.
Wouldn't be ideal. But I could see it working if, like, you make Towns into some sort of Brook Lopez.
Right. I mean, Giannis played effectively with Brook Lopez. So if you're going to do that profile, that works. I just think mentality-wise and personality-wise, I just think Towns Towns is their mentality mesh is weaker, a bigger liability than their on-court playing style mesh.
Yeah.
For me.
And realistically, like, come on, it's Brunson is staying. I mean, like, come on, you know what I mean? I'm just talking the talk, but Brunson is staying, and it's whatever else you can have. And let's get Giannis over here. But what I do think is, because you have a weaker East, there is a possibility that New York get off to a strong start, and you get up into that trade deadline, which. That's funny. He uses that 5, 6, 7 months, because that's when the trade deadline
exactly.
is. That's interesting language.
He is nobody's fool.
That's interesting language.
No, he is a smart guy, and he knows exactly what he's saying.
We get to that point. My point is, if New York is firing on all cylinders, they will be less inclined. They're just like, let's just ride this out. Nobody's here.
Yeah.
The Jason is gone. All these other guys are gone. And then you think, okay. You do think because the Lakers have been rumored to be interested. You got all these options on the board. So, yeah.
Honestly, I mean, with a player of his caliber, to me, you have to be interested.
Yeah.
The price may not work. You may turn it down, but you're not you're not doing your job as an organization if you're not getting in the mix for that trade.
Yeah, you have to pick up that phone.
You have to I mean,
Anybody short of OKC, I say.
Yeah.
Any team short of OKC has to make that call.
Yeah. But even that, like, it just is, you got to at least listen.
Yeah.
Maybe there's maybe there's a mistake to be made. like that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Let's get to my NBA top 10 players right now. Okay. And this is headed into the season. So what I did not do is I did not add the injured guys, the Jason Tatums. Damian Lillard wouldn't have been on my list anyhow, but just to give you an idea, Halliburton, all of those guys I didn't add. Okay. And then also, again, it's heading into this season. Okay. Let's start with some guys that didn't make my list.
Okay.
Let's do that.
It's your list. We can start wherever you like.
Donovan Mitchell did not make my list, but he came close. I think that's an interesting name. He performed well in the season and the playoffs. My thing with him, I'm not a Donovan Mitchell guy, but also his biggest performances in the playoffs. I mean, like he his last 2 games, he shot 30%. Like he had a game where he shot. Where he scored like 40 points or something like that. Very high point total. I looked up today just to make sure and remind myself, but he shot 30%. The other game he shot 27%. That's not going to cut it. High volume guys who are going to shoot worse percentage in the playoffs. I don't need them, and not going to play good defense.
No, I've never been a big fan of his. I do respect him as a player, but not a fan.
Yeah, James Harden. I don't need to explain. Every year it's the same thing. Paolo. It gets getting interesting because again it's heading into next year, so I'm anticipating guys to take a jump. But again, neither one of us are Paolo guys, and I just think it's just I couldn't make a top 10 case for Paolo. All right, a guy I just wanted to mention, Dyson Daniels. I do think he has a jump to make, but again, the top Kevin Durant did not make my top 10 list. I think if you have a healthy superstar and a healthy co-star, and you don't make the playoffs, somebody is not a superstar. You know what I mean? Something stinks there. Every superstar in the history of the NBA, if they have been healthy and they've had a co-star, 1,000% of the time they make the playoffs. And when you think about it, these days they've increased the playoff field. You have the play-in. What the fuck are we doing? The biggest one that did not make my list that I thought really hard on was Wemby. Okay. I thought about the Wemby thing because again, I'm thinking, okay, you make a jump, right? And he's already had a preseason game where he looked really good. And he didn't make my list. I'm still not sold on Wemby. I don't think he is what people think he is. And again, I could be proven wrong. I just don't see it. So I didn't make him in the top 10.
Okay.
Number 10, Jalen Williams, OKC. Just don't see how you can leave him out. Tremendous, huge performances in the playoffs. He's a two-way guy. A great perimeter defender, and he's a scorer, co-star on a championship team. I just had to put him in there. Okay. Number 9 is actually old man LeBron.
Old man LeBron.
Old man LeBron. You're talking about a guy who's still an all NBA guy, and a guy who still had some really great performances in the playoffs and regular season, but just not, of course, what he used to be. Number 8, I have Steph Curry. Okay. Same thing. Now with Curry, he got hurt, but older guys get hurt in the playoffs. So it's not, you know what I mean? That's just what happens. And to a lot of them. And but I still think Curry, he has more gas in the tank. And I think this year is going to be an interesting year. Not sure about how that Jimmy Butler thing is going to work out for them, though. Okay. Also interesting how they were all in on the Kevin Durant thing. And Kevin Durant just said a week or two ago, we talked about it on the phone.
Yeah.
It was his decision to kibosh that.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Jimmy would have had to been in that deal, by the way. All right. Number 7, Cade Cunningham. Again, heading into next year, I anticipate him making another jump. Detroit in a weaker East, I think they're going to make more noise. I love that team. He's the best player on that team. And I love Cade Cunningham going into the season.
I like that call.
Number 7. All right. Number 6, I have Jalen Brunson. Okay. I'm not a Jalen Brunson guy. But again, this is not Bubba's list. This is just the top 10 NBA players going into next season. Okay, and I couldn't leave him off, and definitely had to have him around this number here. Jalen Brunson is a really good player, best player, of course, on the Knicks team, and he's just a fucking offensive dynamo. All righty, a top 10 NBA scorer as well. All right, number 5, Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. Okay, I've seems to be every year I cool off of him more and more, but still cannot deny his talent. He's still relatively a two-way player. And I say relatively because he has the moniker, but he doesn't guard the best player on the opposite team. And I hate that. I really hate that. Never see him taking the Luka or the Shea or the matchup.
And I'm not saying it's specific always to him, but we kind of like mentioned, and you kind of almost like shaded a little bit at Jalen Williams when you mentioned it. It's like, how sustainable is a two-way player? Mm-hmm. Particularly as you kind of evolve more like Jalen Williams offensively. Is there kind of like I don't know where the issue's coming from. Maybe usage rate, maybe conservation of energy, maybe just being focal point more so offensively, which is really usage rate. But I do feel that there's kind of a shelf life on two-way play when you rise out of like role player status on the offensive end.
And you're talking about specifically in that situation.
Well, I'm saying like, I think like when you, in the modern NBA, when you become like a really offensive hub guy, mm-hmm. It almost feels like it's not sustainable to be an elite two-way guy.
For the elite guys, it is sustainable. If you're going to be an elite two-way player, which these guys are named to be the best players in the NBA, it is sustainable. Kawhi did it for his entire prime,
which was very brief.
I haven't seen these guys do it at all. So at least give me some briefness.
But that goes to my point. I'm offering the position that being a high usage offensive player makes it almost impossible to be a sustainable two-way player. I think your career arc kind of pivots. Now, Jalen Williams and I think Kawhi is a great example. They came into the league as like two-way guys, but the longer they were in the league and the better they got, their offensive responsibilities grew. And I feel like and maybe it's just a human capacity thing, that you have to conserve somewhere. And those guys, and it also tracks how like elite guys operate at the end of their career. Like LeBron was an incredible two-way player. And now he's become like, I got to pick my spots and what I'm going to do.
Well, I didn't choose LeBron because of course he is one, but you said something about going in from a role player into that.
I understand. Yeah.
But he's definitely guy too.
I'm just saying like because Jalen Williams was on my mind, and you kind of when you made your argument for him and your position, you did kind of make a comment like I forget what exactly was. I mean, for now, But you said two-way for now or something.
Yeah.
So and I do think that's a thing.
Yeah.
And I just like, and my thing is, I don't know that he or really anyone can sustain like true elite two-way play on both ends for long periods of time.
Yeah.
I think they've got to, pick and choose and whatever. I just think it's a human capacity thing.
Yeah, but again, my thing is, even if it's not for 82 games, we need to see it. We saw we remember that playoff series where Milwaukee Bucks was in against the Brooklyn Nets, and Kevin Durant was destroying them. Yeah, and Giannis never went over.
I agree.
And the coach said it was my decision, this and that. But Giannis like, I have to make that decision myself to go over there. Like, give me 10 possessions. I'm not asking for 82 games.
I completely agree.
Like Anthony Edwards didn't touch Luka Doncic one time, and that's it. No. He's averaging 45 points a game. If you're a two-way guy, give me 4 or 5 possessions, something.
No, that's my school of thought. Like, I get you. You do a lot for us on offense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have you guard that guy for 48 minutes.
Yeah.
But we get in a close game in the fourth quarter. Like,
that's all.
And again, my expectation, if I'm coaching, my expectation is that you're telling me. A true dog is telling me, I got this.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the Kawhi story when he was in Toronto and played the Bucks in the playoffs, that he just said, I'm going to 100%. And so that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I do think though there
there might be something to
there's
that. There may be something to that.
There
may be something to that.
As far as that goes,
especially in this modern NBA. No, 100%. So that was Anthony Edwards, number 5. Number 4, I have Luka. Coming into this season, I buy the weight loss. I buy the mentality change, all of that good stuff. So I have Luka at number 4. Don't need to go harder on that. Which you
crapped on me when I said I wanted to see that last year when the trade happened.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just a Luka guy in general anyway. So I just whatever can get people to buy him. Me having him at number 4, I'll use it. Number 3, I have Giannis. Just a fucking monster. And I do think, I know he's saying whatever in a couple months, whatever, but he has a chance to like really have a statistical like anomaly. Like, he could just do everything. He's going to be running a lot of the point. He's going to just,
if he wants it to go that way, he could have like a Russ and OKC right after KD left type of season.
Yeah.
If he wants it to go that way.
100%. 2, I have Shea. I'm a big Shea guy. It's not just because he just won a championship, which that helps a lot, especially coming into the season. But he's on the best team. He's the best player. MVP. He's going to have opportunity to get the MVP again. I don't see a lot of that changing the way they run their offense. All right. And number 1, I have Nikola. Okay, Nikola Jokic. I wanted to put Shea number 1. But that's a ton of recency bias, and I'll die and go to my grave saying this. I do believe Joel Embiid is better than Nikola Jokic, but what leg do I have to stand on when Jokic is there every night? He's playing.
Not one of Embiid's fault.
I don't have an Embiid leg and a Dion foot to stand on.
Okay.
I just don't.
When you work your way through this list, and I don't disagree with you on this point, but the biggest thought in my head is how far and how fast has Jaylen Brown fallen from coming out of the title?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't an honorable mention.
Yeah.
He wasn't a top 10.
No.
And there's no compelling argument to say, man, you missed the boat. The story is literally how far he's fallen, because he has fallen. He
had a coming out of the finals victory super high. He was probably where Jalen Williams is at conversation. And then, but this past season, he took a couple of steps back. And he just became a worse player on offense and defense. And he didn't address his ball handling and his turnover and his thinking process. Now, I will say this though. No, he's still not going to make the honorable mention. But Lord, does he have an opportunity here?
That was the next thing I was going to say.
Without Jason Tatum, but you're still within a good organization. They put pieces around you. They went out and made moves. They didn't lay down and die like the Indiana did by trading their starting center and all of that. The Indiana pretty much just laid down and said, hey, whenever Tyrese is back, we'll get back to it.
We'll try and figure this out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in Boston Celtics fashion, we're like, no, Jason is out, but we're going to make moves, get some of the guys who aren't playing and making a lot of money, like the tall German guy, whatever he is, Porzingis. We're going to get him out of here. And some other guys, Al Horford, these old guys. And we're going to bring in some juice.
Porzingis is not German.
I know.
I love that.
You were looking like, who he's talking about, German?
Yeah.
But
Totally.
But Boston, so Jalen, he has an opportunity here.
Yeah. I mean, and that's he has a fantastic opportunity to put up monstrous numbers and do stuff. So we'll see what he does with it.
No, 100%. So just to recap again, because I want to get your overall take on this. 10 Jalen Williams, 9 LeBron James, 8 Steph Curry, 7 Cade Cunningham, 6 Jalen Brunson, 5 Anthony Edwards, 4 Luka, 3 Giannis, 2 Shea, 1 Nikola. You sound like a guy that may not have LeBron on this list.
Yeah, I'd have Wemby in his spot or in the 10
period
in favor of him. For sure.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's that guy anymore.
Yeah.
I think he has to do too much picking of his spots and kind of managing himself, and so I don't have him in that spot.
That's just the one I don't have a strong argument against.
Yeah.
It's I can take and receive that and be all right with it.
Right. I'm just trying to think of anybody else, like just a lot of guys. I mean, John Morant's career is kind of in a faltering place. Jimmy Butler's kind of aged out of this discussion, I think, even though he was really impactful when he got to the Warriors, to his credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of not in the playoffs,
Not
but
in the playoffs,
when he
yeah,
got there though, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and again, the disaster in Phoenix, I mean, it kind of keeps Devin Booker's name out of any consideration.
1,000% out of the conversation. Of course, Trae Young wouldn't reach our conversation.
No, he needs to reach the playoffs. The playoffs, not the play-in, Trey.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then I'm not a Segun guy yet for a top 10 conversation, but he's good.
He's a guy to keep an eye on for sure. He's doing a lot of good things.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
Never an Anthony Davis guy.
Yeah. So those are pretty much the other names.
And Kyrie's another guy in the Hurt Squad.
On the Hurt Squad.
Yeah.
He's on the Hurt Squad. Yeah. You got Zion floating out there. He has to show us something.
Yeah, you got to show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty comprehensive review of the league's players.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't slide your boy Lauri Markkanen in.
The Great White Hope.
You never miss an opportunity to get to rise him up the rankings.
Oh man. News here. So Bill Belichick has released a statement. I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here.
Okay.
And then North Carolina director of athletics. His name is Bubba as well. I didn't know that.
Really?
Shout out to Bubba.
All right.
Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and the university. Who are they trying to fool here?
Yeah, that doesn't read very credibly at all.
They just haven't.
Do you think his girlfriend wrote that statement?
They just haven't agreed to the terms yet. That's all.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Let's get to some interesting stories here. All right. Not that we haven't been interesting already.
That's right. Shout out to Holland and Mark for getting me this jersey in Monaco.
Straight from Monaco.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Very happy.
All right. This guy here, man accused of shooting ex to prove his love to the new girlfriend. You know, and
it's a dramatic gesture.
You know, you get around the new girls, man. I've had a couple of girls, like,
Why don't you go shoot your ex?
No, I'm just saying, but like, you're too friendly with your ex, or how come you're still friends with your ex? And
What do I need to do to prove to you?
There you go,
bitch. Get a gun. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wherever he's going, he deserves to go.
That's just wild.
Wherever he's going, he deserves to go. The move is to find a way to keep both. I mean, that's the move. Not to throw your whole life away.
Yeah, for sure. He comes out the big loser here. But I wonder though. Like, I mean, he'll be dealing with man ass for the rest of his days. I wonder if the girlfriend, the new girl, is gonna be like taken down as a co-conspirator.
Like
if there was some evidence that she was kind of pulling the strings,
some old text messages or something.
Yeah, for sure, man. I hope she does. Makes a better story.
It will.
She's in the.
If you're him, do you drag her down with you?
Yeah. No doubt.
No doubt.
Can't be sitting in jail while she's sitting on a new dick. That's not
on her ex dick.
Of all irony. Oh no, that would be tough to stomach.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, you gotta take her down too.
I think I agree.
I mean,
I'm sure Ebony doesn't agree, but I think I agree. Gotta take her down.
You know that guy just wanted to shoot the girl anyway. Didn't have anything to do with the girlfriend.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The guy escaped, man. Derrick Groves has been arrested in Atlanta after 145 days on the run. Yeah. Approximately, how long is that? That's what? That's about
almost
5 months.
Yeah, a little short of 5 months.
Yeah. And so, we were talking a little bit pre-show. So apparently, an anonymous tip came in.
Here's what I'm thinking, though.
Go ahead.
Like when you're in jail, like you tend to count the days. Was he counting the days of freedom?
I wonder, was he keeping a tally?
Yeah, I'm thinking he was. I'm thinking you're kind of conditioned to do that. And he's all right, 144 free. 145, where's the rat?
No, 100%.
Yeah. So you had a little bit of information, I guess, how he was found.
No, yeah. So he had an anonymous tip came in, say he was found near the road of Campbellton Road, whatever, in Atlanta. Crime Stoppers were called, okay, which is interesting in Atlanta because there was always a flack on T.I. for working with Crime Stoppers, or he had a commercial for Crime Stoppers.
Oh, okay.
And because it's basically like snitching or whatever.
Yeah.
The rappers
So
get
people
flack
weren't
for that.
happy with him.
But a tip came in to Crime Stoppers. Non-T.I. didn't provide the tip, and said that they saw him or something around in the area, and pointed him towards, it was a house that he was in, okay, and they found him. He was in a bunker inside the house. So I mean, he was fully committed to hiding out,
as he should be. I mean, you don't just escape jail not to be fully committed to stay free. I mean, I don't get it. Nah, yeah, I you just wonder, like, was it a genuine, just good Samaritan who felt like they were doing the right thing, calling Crime Stoppers? Was there maybe some sort of issue between the escapee and the tipster?
I say this: is it out of bounds to call a tipper? If you recognize this guy and you say, okay, that's the guy from the news who escaped prison, but he's not bothering anybody. You see him there for days, weeks, months, whatever. Should you call it in, or should you just let him chill and F the law?
Well, that's why I'm very curious about the tipster.
Yeah.
Because was it somebody who literally did that? They didn't have they just noticed this guy, he's not doing anything to anybody, and something inside you's like, I need to call the hotline.
Yeah.
Like, versus like, and it could be simple. It could be simple like, you were hooping with the guy at the park and he undercut you. Maybe he like hit on your girlfriend. Like, who knows what? It could be some relatively small contact that you are offended by, and now you want that person taken out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, But for me, like, it's, it just depends who it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's certain people, I'm happy to see them go.
Yeah, I just don't see myself providing a tip. You know what I mean?
I would be, honestly, like, I would be blown away if you were a tipster. I would be so surprised.
I'm such a guy that's like, I just want to mind my own business. Like, now if he's out doing crazy stuff or whatever, and I see he making cause harm to either myself or like friends or family members, then that's different.
For sure.
But if he's just chilling, minding his own business, I'm going to mind my own business. Now, the guy, they said they arrested his girlfriend for helping him after he escaped. So his mom hadn't heard from him, but apparently his girlfriend had. And then the maintenance worker.
I wonder how mom feels about that.
The maintenance worker in the prison. That's something I wouldn't have done. Like, he actually aided and abetted because with the water thing, he did it on purpose. So
okay,
that kind of was the first move to help them escape there. Like, that's something I just wouldn't do. I'm not going to help prisoners escape. You know what I mean? If I'm working at the prison, because that does nothing for me. Unless I guess if I'm a lowly whatever $17 an hour maintenance worker, and this guy is some millionaire on the outside or some big heavy honcho, and he can provide some type of monetary thing on the outside. Now that's something.
Well, that's a little tough though too, because anybody that's been in prison for a while probably doesn't have their financial resources at a good level.
Maybe not.
I mean, there's exceptions to that. There's
exceptions.
Again,
what I'm saying, it would have to be an exception.
I get you.
But just some guy who doesn't even have money to fly out of the state or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, nah.
Which again, this guy doesn't fit the profile if he only made it far as Atlanta.
You know what I mean?
Like, he would have been in like Panama or out
Mexico,
of country,
whatever,
Dubai. Like, you got to get the hell out of town. Out of the country.
So well, they got him. It was a interesting story.
It was a good run for him. 145
It was a great run. He's going to go back in. He's the talk of the town.
Yeah.
He's you know what I mean? He's the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was the mastermind. He helped free 10 other people. He's who's my lady with the Underground Railroad?
Harriet Tubman.
He's right there. I mean,
Modern day Harriet Tubman.
you know, that's one of those podcast takes that goes and people are like, look at this fucking idiot. He's comparing the Derrick to Harriet Tubman. He doesn't know Black history and he's such a terrible person. It's just a fucking joke.
You're damn right we are.
But yeah, he helped free 10 other people. No, never mind how long they lasted. That's on them.
It's on you. Once you're outside these gates, run. No, I mean, you know, Harriet Tubman of modern day. I mean, like 30 years from now, like Netflix and Prime will be putting together a little multi-piece series.
There you go. Yeah. But guess what though? Those guys still owe me when I get back in.
That's true.
Whatever. How many? You know, I get help you get days or weeks of freedom. You owe me some noodles, some candy, some cigarettes.
Big noodle guy.
Whatever's the premium in prison.
Okay.
You owe me.
I hope noodles aren't at the top of the list. That's like extra depressing. If that's like number one item in prison.
I think so.
Noodles.
It's up there. I think.
Oh man.
You know.
Damn.
Let's go here. Cam Newton was on a podcast here, okay, and he was talking to this lady here, and basically he says that why he asked his girlfriend for a list of all of her previous partners, sexual partners, before their relationship. I want to walk with my chest high, basically, and I saw the clip actually too.
That's the girlfriend.
Yeah, on the left. Yeah.
I didn't.
No. I had to look up because he was talking to a girl. He was talking to an attractive woman too. It was her podcast.
Oh, but that's the actual girlfriend.
With the hat on. Yeah. So basically he's saying, before he gets with a woman, he wants to know everybody she's had sex with, but from a standpoint of he doesn't want it to be someone that he knows, does business with, or is a friend, or whatever, colleague, or whatever. Because a lot of people he walks in the same circles.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
You can kind of see maybe both sides of it. It's like, okay, well, you're with somebody, you're enjoying your time with them, and like why are we gonna sit here hashing out who you else have had sex with, and whatever. But the other side of that is right. It's like before things get too serious, it's like I don't really want to. I mean, I would rather know that, like, if I come to the family reunion, like, that, you haven't already fucked my uncle. Like, that's just one of those things that you would want to know. Like, what do you call that, though? Like, Eskimo brothers?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing,
family members that hit the same woman.
Yeah. I think it's just all friends, too.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it applies. But, yeah, no, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like... that's a legitimate weird thing that could happen that you'd rather know about and have a decision to make. I also think that it's like it is like a level of honesty and intimacy with the person that you're kind of like, okay, whatever, this is what I've done in the past, this is what my life has looked like at that point, versus just the like don't ask, don't tell, whatever. It just if you I could just see where that would be like a level of honesty and integrity. And if you ask somebody, if you were curious and you asked somebody, and they gave you like a weird answer that just felt like bullshit, like, can you really trust them moving forward?
My thing is, I just don't see the benefit of needing to know everybody that you have sex with. I don't see a woman telling the truth to that under any circumstance. Like, I don't if not the truth, I don't see her telling the whole truth. So like, what's the point in asking, okay, right now give me a list or text me everybody you've had sex with? Like, I just don't see how that I've never met a woman.
Then you just see like the message typing thing like for 90
forever. But I've never met a woman in my life that I feel like would give me the truth to that answer. It's like I don't see the reason. Now, but to the other side of that, and that's why I wanted to hear everything you had to say. Like, there is a benefit to just saying, hey, you know who I work with. you've seen some of my family and friends at this point because we've been in the talking stage. If you ever, smash anybody, like, come on, you can let me know.
Right.
Like, I understand that. Or just be a fucking good person and just let me know anyway. Like, hey, hey.
By the way.
Yeah, by the way, I see that Mike is your friend. Like, we, whatever.
It's kind of like the same protocol for a trans person.
Well,
hey, I'm going to discuss
that's a major protocol.
That I have a huge dick right now.
That's a major protocol. But yeah, I mean, I would like to live by that creed. I mean, just just let me know. I don't want to feel like I need to or have to ask for this long ass list or whatever. Potential long ass list.
But it is. But okay, that's why my primary takeaway is that it is like really like a legitimate like honesty play.
Yeah.
Like that, because again, like the natural instinct is to think that people are not being forthcoming, that they're lying about something. And it's like, if you actually had somebody who had the willpower to just say, hey, this is exactly who I am and what I've done, like, that's a whole different level.
Like for example, I was with this girl and her birthday came around. So a lot of women, they like to take these birthday pictures or whatever. So they get these photographers. All right. And so she get this photographer, comes by the house, and
while you're there?
Yeah, while I'm there.
Okay.
And it's my homeboy. It's a guy I know.
Okay.
Like
But
you
had no idea that she knew him as well.
I had no idea that she knew him. She had no idea that I knew him.
Okay.
But like, this is a guy, he throws events. I go to a lot of his events. The Daytona, the sex buddy. This guy. I'm like, damn. What do you not do? And and she's like, oh, y'all know each other and this and that. So, but at this point, I'm thinking, okay, guys, this is the sex party guy. Like, what are the chances that?
Why do you know him?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what is the cost of this? Oh, he's giving you a discount. Why? You're not paying full price for this photo shoot?
He shows up. You walk by her, and you just look at her and go, full price. And that's it.
He was surprised that I was that a guy was going to be there. Like, I didn't know nobody was going to be here. Like, what did you have planned? So it's just like you go to thinking.
I know what he had planned. For sure he had planned. It's like, if this goes right, I'm getting a tip. A tip in.
A tip in. Not talking about Akeem Olajuwon. No, but yeah, man.
For sure, though. But that's,
so I understand.
That's that whole thing. And that's funny, too. Like, if she knows somebody who's kind of in that lane.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you've probably been to one of these parties. I mean, maybe you didn't fuck him, but he probably saw you get fucked.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, is it on him? Because I didn't hear from him after that, like, about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it on him to let me know if something did? You know what I mean? I was kind of relying on that, so I didn't like hit him up or ask him or anything. And I didn't. And for that matter, I didn't ask her for it. I just said, okay, live by the honor code, and if one of these two people ought to tell me if something happened or something.
But nobody did.
No. So I just safely assumed, or not safely assumed that nothing happened.
Wait, what? You assume nothing happened out of
Yeah.
that? I would, based on the facts we have, I would assume the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not for real. Like,
Yeah.
They know each other. If that guy's in that lane, that space, whatever. The fact that he appeared a little bit surprised there was a guy there, let alone you.
Yeah.
The fact that neither person expressed any interest in talking about it afterward.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
2 + 2.
Well, it's not 2 + 2.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, whatever.
In
It's like 6 times 9.
No.
It's like,
Two
you got to
plus
pull
two.
out the calculator. You got to pull out your hands and do some. You know what I'm saying?
One hand. One hand, people.
You got to do some work
Nah, Bubba's
to get to this answer. You're a lawyer, so you feel like that. You can put things together
guy,
like that.
Yeah.
The common man can't put things together that
Common
quickly.
man needs to step up his game. I think it's quite clear, really. I can't imagine another scenario.
I hear you.
That's funny.
No, that's hilarious.
But like, I think that's I didn't think that's what Cam's getting at. It's like, I don't want to be.
Yeah, in that situation. Yeah. No. I understand.
Here's another level too, though. I think that like a guy in Cam's position is he's a public figure. Maybe not the biggest public figure.
Yeah.
But it's like, when those kind of things like hit him, it's just not like a private little moment of like, man, that wasn't cool. I wasn't happy with that. Like, it's going to be on social media. It's going to be, oh yeah, Cam's, current girlfriend was once, in a threesome with.
Yeah. Oh, that's the girl that Shannon Sharp was on the live with.
Yeah,
or whatever. You never know. Like, you know what I'm
saying?
Yeah. Because a lot of women, they fall in that same circles, and then
right. Right.
So yeah, no, I 100% understand.
That's the Anthony Simons and
there you go.
What's his name?
The other player, the other NBA guy.
What's his name?
It's not Poole, is it?
No, it's the tall dude who used to be at in New Orleans, who was with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't even like his game. Damn. Brandon Ingram. That's him. Yeah.
So
the baby mama. Like, that's the whole thing, and now it's like you're sharing a baby mama with another NBA guy, and it's just like you're kind of like all a little bit stuck together. Like it's just like,
if you can avoid it, you want to avoid it. That's all.
But that's that thing where like like you could definitely see like a guy. Even like you get Anthony Edwards like messing around with the Chiquillas and Jalen Green. Like, why are you like messing with these chicks that have been already rode hard and put
Why
away?
is that appealing to you?
Yeah.
Even if they make a strong push for you, which I'm sure that's the case.
That's what they're doing, And what was that? PJ Washington.
Yeah.
Like it's just you're getting gamed by these chicks that have been in the game longer than you.
And
it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Man? Just go find something else.
Yeah. Which is extremely easy for you.
It should be. But I don't know, man. Yeah. These guys are into low-hanging, well-worn fruit.
Low-hanging, well-worn fruit.
Yeah,
that's a statement there.
It is though. Yeah, that's what they're into.
Really quick on this because I don't have a ton on it. There's a new Verzuz coming out. If you remember, Verzuz took a long layoff, a hiatus. It got really hot during the pandemic. We were all home and whatever. And so they have this new one coming out here, Cash Money versus No Limit, October 25th. Okay. A couple of things about this that my take on it. Number one, there has to be some level of Jake Paul Tyson stipulations because it's a massive one-sided thing. Cash Money has just been so successful over the course of years. So you have to one stipulation needs to be, okay, let's timeline this. Being like whenever No Limit was hot, we're gonna do that level of Cash Money. So no Drake, no Nicki, no Tyga, all of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's do that. And then also they should do another stipulation where it's only like group songs. Because it's
no solos.
Yeah, I think that would benefit No Limit. And No Limit does have a Snoop was there for a second. So it'd be interesting. I know that helps them a little.
Yeah.
But you would want that because that helps Cash Money so much if you could do that. You want to do group songs, and I think they'll have a fight, whatever, but it's still a massive thing. So that's number one. Number two, they released the news, and then it's October 25th. I think that's pretty good. Because I hate when they,
like 2 weeks.
I hate when they announce the verses so much ahead of time.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha.
Because what we can do as fans, we get to going song for a song, and it kind of takes it takes juice away.
Well, you almost can play out the verse.
You know what I mean?
And rather than it's like, okay, we get an announcement 2 weeks later, we're doing it, just watch it, just whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to overanalyze it and almost play it out.
Yeah.
Before it happens. I get that.
Because a lot of times that can happen. And but lastly, I just think if they were going to return, which there have been rumors all along, there was a better one to be had than this one.
Yeah.
To make the big return.
What about So how is it? Is it being streamed? How is it being?
Now, I mean,
Projected.
they all were being streamed at first, so I'm not sure. Oh, let
Yeah.
me see it
Is there
there,
like a
because
plan?
did they say I believe they said live, so it's live from Las Vegas. So I don't know, it's going to be some type of arena or something. Now they're going to stream it, of course,
Right.
but I'm saying, but there will be. It looks like when they say live, it has to be like some sort of audience. and all that.
Yeah.
Now I do remember Jadakiss and the Locks. They did one where it was a crowd there, because I remember seeing Fat Joe in the crowd and all that.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about the crowd, but
Oh,
like, so
okay,
like
okay.
where I'm kind of going to, if it's streamed and it can kind of be one of those almost like organic type of things where it's just like it starts streaming, people, oh, this is dope, and like Twitter just like everybody starts going off like check in, and like it pulls you in.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you might not have been planned, like I wasn't setting aside the 25th to watch this.
Yeah.
But like if I'm on social media and it's just everybody's popping off and talking about it,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna slide over there and check it out.
Yeah, that's kind of how they've had it,
Yeah.
and so that was
Which I feel gives like a really nice energy to it.
I like that. I like that from you. That's a good point. That is a good point, because I've never like really noticed that point, but that is right. Because I remember when Jeezy and Gucci had theirs, I had totally forgot it was going to happen, but everybody was just talking about it on Facebook. And it's like, oh, it's live right now on Instagram. You can go, and I was like,
Right.
well, yeah. So
Let's
that-
go.
yeah. So that's the idea.
Yeah.
behind it.
But that's what I was wondering, like versus like doing it on like Netflix or some like set platform, like a Jake Paul fight. Like it's like,
Yeah.
hey, whatever, 10 o'clock on this date. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Now, I don't see how Cash Money gets Lil Wayne to show up for something like this. That can help No Limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they do get him to show, that'll be very interesting. Because you remember that Cash Money, we talked about this on the show too. They did their reunion tour or whatever. That fell apart so quickly because people started having issues and stuff like that. And Lil Wayne just separated himself like, damn, I didn't want to do this in the first place to begin with, and now there's already issues. So like, just screw you
Like
guys.
how many dates you think they got in before it all went
Like
down?
the entire team, maybe like a couple, like literally a couple.
Like less than 5?
Now they kept going without.
Oh, just kind of like
Wayne
kept
and
going.
Turk.
Okay.
Yeah, and they kept going with whatever. Just Juvie, BG, and Birdman and them.
Okay.
But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. If I'm not doing anything. Yeah. Let me see here. I want to make sure that was it, because I think I got to everything there. Now, one thing I wanted to get to before the show was over, which we have a couple of minutes here, is NFL MVP. So that's the thing that's starting to get talked about.
Yeah, already.
And there are some names here, and I wanted to see if it sounded interesting to you. Okay. So right now, the rankings are Baker Mayfield number 1. They have Josh Allen at number 2, which is interesting. Dak Prescott at number 3. Jared Goff number 4. Okay. You have and I know I'm watching it right here, but the Colts quarterback number 5,
Daniel Jones. Really?
Yeah. And then you have a couple of skilled players in Puka Nacua and Jonathan Taylor. And then you have Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, to kind of round out that 10. All right. Now, my question to you is, every year that, because they start the MVP talk early. Way too early. And then you get all of these, like, these names that just won't last long in the race, like the Pukas, the Jonathan Taylors, the Drake Mays, the Jared Goffs, even the Dak Prescott to a certain degree. Who do you think will stick? And then, is Baker a legitimate candidate that can ride this thing on out?
Couple tough questions. All right, so I am a strong believer in the NFL MVP is won in the last 4 weeks of the year.
I remember we had that.
Yeah, and it's won by a combination of your statistical numbers and your team success. And again, there's variations. If you have a record-setting season and your team is 11-6, and somebody had a really good season and they're 15-2, the 11-6, he might pull it off if the differential of numbers. But at the end of the day, I think there's just a bias toward the what I'd almost call like the inevitability of it. And you get to those last couple of weeks, and it's like, if a team's rolling at that point and the quarterback's putting up statistical numbers that are fantastic. And I also believe that the only non-quarterback that can win has to put up an absolutely historical season. And all that's not known until the end. To me, it's pointless. But if we're saying who's the MVP on 5 weeks' work, I absolutely think Baker Mayfield deserves to be in there. This guy has won 4 or 5 games with good statistical numbers, but won them all at the end with him being a guy that's doing special stuff at the end. The Philly game, they came back, and I know he threw a pick at the end, and they didn't quite come back. But it's like, basically, Tampa Bay Bucs football is they're a good football team, and you get Baker to the final minute with a chance to win, and you like your chances.
Yeah.
That's basically MVP material.
No, it is. And then on top of that, he's had to deal with injuries to the receivers. I mean, like
the
Godwin,
running back this week.
Running back.
Yeah, Godwin hasn't played yet, or did he play?
He was supposed to play last week, and I didn't see him out there.
And Mike Evans has been hurt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the rookie's been their number one guy for the thing, and then I think the running back Bucky Irvin did play this week.
Yeah.
And
now Dak has been playing really well as well.
Yeah,
and he's had to deal with the CD Lamb injury. But in the end, like you said, it's going to come down to the last couple of weeks. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys team is going to be able to hold up over the course of a whole season record-wise for him to have an honest shot at it.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, I think, has a chance.
I think Tampa Bay's the better team. I think they have a better chance to have being one of the better records in the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's just so much to do. I mean, Josh Allen, if they lost, was disappointing this week, but if they're 15-2 and he accounts for 40 touchdowns, which he probably will.
Yeah.
Like, how is he not?
He'll be back.
In that?
He'll be back to back.
Yeah.
And they have a favorable schedule down the stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I know. I mean, like, I know the Chiefs haven't been great, but like, I like the receiving core now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Pat has more chances to throw the ball downfield and have some bigger statistical games than maybe he has the last 2 years. So I'm not ruling him out if they figure it out and get on a roll. And the schedule can't possibly be tougher down the stretch.
It can.
Really?
Yeah. The thing about the Chiefs is, and what people always have to remember, they always get the first place schedule. So that's the thing. So like they still have Detroit Lions to play. They still have Buffalo Bills to play. They still, you know what I mean? They got to play the Broncos twice. They haven't played them yet. They got to see whatever's left of the Chargers again. So yeah, they still have their schedule is going to be just as hard as it is in the beginning.
Damn.
But for MVP wise, that helps Mahomes because they got off to a middling start. If you finish strong against those big opponents,
for sure. If they go on a run and he has a better statistical season than he's had the last couple of years, I think he's going to be in that conversation.
Now, go, you had something to say?
I was going to say gotta start maybe looking like the Jags have a little something.
They got Trevor here at number 9.
4-1 right now.
Yeah.
But
Trevor isn't the answer.
Right, he's not
for MVP. I don't even know why they got him on this list. Now he had a great game. Let me come back a little bit. He had a good game against Kansas City, but Trevor has been bad this year. Like he's been.
Yeah, he hasn't been good at all.
The defense has carried.
I watched
the
live when they played the Texans. I was in the stadium, and I just walked away with him. He's just not that good. Like he just misses too many throws. And in that particular game, dudes had a ton of bad drops.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wasn't getting helped. But there's enough throws, enough things that he just doesn't do. And I mean, in a weird way, I think, like, the winning play against the Chiefs was kind of, like, emblematic.
Yeah, he tripped and fell.
He flops around on the ground falling, and then it just kind of ends up going his way.
And I'm glad you went there because I want to end on Kansas City. But that play is so important to what's going on here because, he tripped and fell. And the biggest –
fell again as he initially tried to get up.
And the big takeaway from that particular play wasn't Trevor, really. It was Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, yeah.
Now, Chris Jones, today, he deletes all of his social media. And a thing came out with Andy Reid, like, berating him in the locker room. And then he comes out today and he deletes all of his social media. And on that play, I mean, Chris Jones just does not move. Now, Chris Jones has been bad all season. But with defensive linemen, it's tougher to assess. Like with offensive players, we could tell Travis Kelce dropping the ball, fumbling, not getting open. We could say, oh, yeah, he's older, not having a good season. Quarterbacks, interceptions, Receivers, we know, dropping passes and all of that stuff. But with defensive linemen, it's just harder to assess. So he's kind of flew under the radar. But he has been really bad. And he just got the huge fucking deal like a year ago. And on that play, he's just in space. Like he does not move.
Literally stood up and just stood and watched the play.
Yeah.
Because he was in a direct upright stance. Nobody was like blocking him. Nobody tried to block him. And he made no attempt to.
And I've heard some lame excuses about, when Trevor fell, he thought that the play was dead. But everybody around him is still doing what they supposed to. His defensive line, his other defensive linemen around him are still trying to get, you know what I mean? They're being blocked. Like the whole world is moving and he's just
standing there
high off a fucking Molly. And my point of bringing that up is, I just think that the Kansas City Chiefs as a whole, like it's a lot when you're playing. Like they played 2 additional months of football than everybody else every single year. Like when you add everything up, and they had long runs every single year. I think it is a lot emotionally and physically on your body. And I think it has gotten to a point where, especially with a lot of these ancillary players, as in Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, and these guys, and I think is weighing on them. And I think we're seeing the results of that. And not to say they can't turn it around, but this just might be one of those. And I'm one of the fans, because for anybody watching, I'm a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. But I'm in all of these groups. I'm not the guy that's ringing the bell like, oh, this is crazy, and you got to get rid of this guy and that guy, and what are we doing? And this is that. I'm just like, well, we've been like crazy, stupid, successful the last couple of years. You cannot win it, and you cannot go every single year. That's just not going to happen. There are years where teams and dynasties or just good teams in general, they just have funky years, and you need to figure out the players from there. And I think we may just be in a funky season. Now it's a lot of football to go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You got your best number one receiver missing the first 6 games. You got your defensive lineman. He's high on Molly. You got Xavier Worthy bumping into Travis Kelce on the first play in the first week, and he's out for a couple of weeks because of that.
I guess
we may be in a funky season.
Yeah, I just don't think that you can ever accept that.
Yeah,
because it becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. And again, the fans, the message board guys could do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But if the prevailing sense in the Chiefs locker room is growing that, oh, it's just a weird year, or this ain't our year, and you're dead. You're dead. Like you can't buy into that. Like you have to be like just the consummate competitive monster that's just like, like you're pissed. And I hate what you've just told me about the Chris Jones reaction.
What you mean?
Deleting his social media.
Oh yeah. He deleted.
I
all his
hate
social
that.
media. Yeah.
I think that's a pussy move.
Yeah, because people were getting on.
But again, like let it. And here's the thing, like like the old Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena. Like you're still the man in the arena. Like you have. Like you can this Sunday, you can get
right
2
your wrongs,
sacks, right the
and
wrongs,
right all the wrongs.
Change this.
Yeah, because it's against the Detroit Lions. It's a huge game.
Like history is written by the victors.
Yeah,
and it's like the end of the day. Yeah, you can have some horrible moments individually, bad game, inexplicable, bizarre, bad play, but it's like if you don't give up like you have the chance to write that until the game, the season's over, whatever. That you have a chance to do that. And like as a competitive person, I think that has to be the mentality.
Yeah.
And I think if you're drifting away from that, you're in a way deeper problem than you even realize.
Yeah.
It's got to be like, like own the shit. Like I fucked up. I deserved Andy Reid yelling at me. I deserve my teammates being pissed at me. You know what? I deserve my teammates not trusting me right now. But they'll trust me after Sunday.
Yeah.
It's simple shit, man.
Yeah.
But like if you give in to the woe is me and people are saying mean shit about me or whatever, it's like you're not in the arena anymore. You're just a soft civilian. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's still setting up for you. Like because
Easily.
Because the Chargers are not, they're never what people think they are. Every year, people are extremely high on the Chargers. Then they come out, they win the first couple of games. It's like, oh, this is it. They always fall apart. They're already falling apart. Lamar and the Ravens, they're done. Even though Lamar comes back, that defense is god awful, and they're just in a hole. And the Bengals are done. I mean, Joe Flacco, I guess he'll make a little difference, but
no, they're not in the mix anymore.
They're just not in the mix. It's still setting up for you. The Broncos, they have a solid defense. The Jaguars, a good defense. In the playoffs, I'm not worried about that. I'm just not worried about those two teams.
I mean, Buffalo is the one that's
Buffalo
intact.
is
That's your rival.
and you have them in about 2 to 3 weeks. You'll get you'll get to see where you kind of stand up against them. But guess what? They're ranked in I think they're right now they're about 23rd, 24th defensively. They can be had. Yeah. They can be had. And so it's still setting up for you. So I'm just saying to your point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to your point. I've taken a different stance just as a fan. Just like I'm just saying, like, if it doesn't happen, it could be a funky year, and I'm okay with that. Now I know you're saying as a team, of course, you can't take that. Yeah. You can't take that stance.
Nah, the key to this is just being a relentless competitor.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and because like everything around sport. History's written by the victor. That's what it is. It's just like war. And it's like if you win out, if you bounce back, as long as you get in the playoffs, you have a chance to win the whole damn thing. And if you win the whole damn thing, nobody can say anything.
No.
And it's just like that's in front of you. Now, every team's got problems. Every team's going to endure, some degree of adversity over the course of the year. But it's just like, own it and eat it and go, but if you want to delete social media and like just that's just so weak.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Yeah. No, I agree there. Well, that has been it for this week. We'll be back next week on the bench.